Hi, Math 105 students. This is Dr. Sweeney, and I want to welcome you to our course. This course is completely online, so consequently there are no meeting days. That should clarify some things for some of you. We will not be meeting in the online space, and we will not be meeting in the classroom. This course is going to be completely online. In fact, even our testing will be done online. So with that stated, the purpose of this video is to actually introduce you to the course, to go over some things that are really important from the syllabus and inside of our Canvas course, so that you can really feel comfortable as you navigate through taking Math 105. My commitment to you is that you do great inside this class. I really want you to do well. I want you to learn some math. I want you to learn some things about math that maybe you don't think about as math. And I want you to feel comfortable, okay? Because math is fascinating. I do love math. I really enjoy it. As a subject, I think it's fascinating. I think it is one of the most valuable and versatile subjects that we can learn. And it's done some incredible things. And so hopefully we'll give you a little bit of a taste of that as you go through the semester. All right. So with that stated, let's start taking a look at how we're going to navigate around the course. So this is our Canvas course. When you enter in, this is going to be our homepage. You'll see the name, Math 105, the section number, and my name. What you'll now notice is then on our left navigation, you'll see some links here. The one we're going to start out with, I'm going to start out with this one called Syllabus. Right? Very important that you read this before you actually get started. You'll notice the full syllabus is right here. I recommend, in fact, I pretty much require it, that you go in, you click on that, you actually, in fact, go and read through it and see what it has to offer. Okay? It's going to be kind of like a guidebook. You know, throughout the entire semester, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be guiding you in ways to take the course to maximize how well you do, right? And to make it as least frustrating as possible. So the first place to start is with the syllabus, just so that you know what it is that I'm going to expect from you, okay? And in fact, you can go in here and you can take a look and you can see I've got my office hours, when I'm going to be in the Math Center, because I will be in the Math Center, some information about our textbook. But the big piece here is to read that particular document, the syllabus. All right, now that we've finished up the syllabus, let's go to the modules and let's take a look at how this course is structured. This module section is incredibly crucial. It's very important. You click on it, and what you're going to see is all of the course contents. So we're going to see, for example, you got a place for the course syllabus. You'll have some place for instructor contact. That is going to be my Zoom link, right? So where you can actually access me via Zoom and the hours in which I will be available. You'll have our communication plan, which is actually crucially important. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And then you'll see we'll have some resources for students. And then you're going to go in and you'll see we'll have some discussion boards here. There will be 8 of them throughout the semester. We'll talk about that more in a moment. And in this course, we're going to have 4 units, unit 1 through 4. And you'll see in each one of the units, we have the readings. Okay, we'll have practice for those readings. You need to do the reading before you do the practice. I think it's just so important. You're not going to do very well if you don't do the readings. There are videos, and we will be posting videos, but really reading is going to be very, very beneficial for doing this course. Okay. In addition to that, you'll also see, for example, at the end of each unit, you'll see we have a project, and in addition to that, we're going to have an exam. We'll talk about all those a little bit later. But that's all inside the module section. So in the module section, you'll see all of the information that we have for the course, right? It'll be laid out for you. You'll see this instructor resources will not be there. This is only for the instructor view. All right, let's go back up to that syllabus. So now we're looking at the syllabus, and you can see again, in the syllabus, you've got information regarding my contact information. There will be, we're going to be meeting in my office is via Zoom, and there was a conference link in Canvas. You can schedule with me, but it's also going to be in that instructor contact information place. You'll see my office hours when I'm in the Math Center, information about the course description, the textbook, etc. What I first want to point out to you is that you have access to Microsoft 365, and so there's information here as to how you're going to go about accessing Microsoft 365. You can use that for your projects. In fact, I recommend that you use it because it actually makes things quite easy. And you have that for as long as you're a student here at Santa Ana College. Next up, we have our drop policy, okay? And something that I want to make sure that you understand is that our first day of class is August 24th. You must complete the classroom icebreaker discussion board on time, right? And what that means is that that's by Tuesday. So I'll open up the course a little bit early. You can go in, do the icebreaker. It should only take you 5, 10, 15 minutes. It's basically your way of showing up at the course. In addition to that, you have to complete 70% of the first week's assignments. If you fail to do that, I also consider you to be a no-show. And so consequently, make sure that you do that. They're due by the first Monday. In here, I've got all the things that basically constitute when it is that I'm going to be, I might drop you from the course. The only reason why I put these things in is because I really don't want you to have a poor grade on your transcript because basically something happened in life. All right, things do happen. Students do have to drop the course, and that's not a stigma. That just does happen. Okay, if it happens to you, communicate with me. Either you can drop yourself, or I can help drop you, or we can figure something out. But the reason why I have these policies is to make sure that for no reason of neglect on your own, or because life intervenes, or you end up sick, or you end up in the hospital, or having to go somewhere else out of the country, that you end up getting a poor grade on your course. And so that's why I have these here. We have the drop without a W, September 7th, so that's the end of the second week. Drop with a W, and that's 75% of the class. That's November 15th. On both of those days, I'll give you a reminder. If you are okay, I need to drop the course, then I will remind you that this is the last day for you to do it with these particular conditions. Okay. Makeups for the course. All right. You can read this as well. You should look at how I view late work. Okay. Projects. There are going to be 4 projects, one for every unit. Okay. They're fairly short. They're not incredibly long, but you need to make sure that you follow all the instructions and that you use them in order to really understand the mathematics. They're a big chunk of your grade. They're 20%. Okay, and they're due at 11:59 on the date of the project date. So I'll make sure to notify you two weeks before the project is due, and give you several updates on that so that you can get in and do them. Project number 4 is going to take you a little bit longer because it requires you to gather some data, and so consequently you don't want to leave that to the last day because the fact of the matter is that you won't actually complete that assignment if you do. All right, so when I say hey, start your projects, go ahead and start your projects, get them done early, okay, or make sure that you're pacing yourself so that it doesn't end up all being done on the last day. All right, now testing policy for online courses. Now, currently, right now, as this video is being written, we are in the midst of remote instruction due to COVID-19, and so consequently, all of our exams are going to be used doing Proctorio. Now, there's more information about a Proctorio. You're going to need a web camera, a microphone, and the use of Google Chrome, okay? Each one of these exams, you're going to have 24 hours to complete it. So you can complete it at any time that you'd like, but you need to make sure that on that day that you have allocated yourself some time to take the exam, okay? If you cannot, for some reason, you need to let me know in advance. So before the actual test date, not afterwards. If you do afterwards, I'm going to give you a 0, okay? You need to let me know in advance. We're very flexible, but I can't do it after the fact. It doesn't work, okay? You will be given a practice exam before the actual exam to then work out the technical issues, and you're going to get a lot more information on that later, okay? We have inside of the syllabus, we also have due dates for our projects and assignments. These are going to change semester to semester. These happen to be the ones for fall 2020. And then we'll also have the communication policy, the honesty policy, attendance and participation, and our DSPS. I'll talk about these more in just a few minutes, okay? Now, in terms of grading breakdown, here's how it goes. Homework is 10%, projects are 20%, discussion boards are 10%, and our exams are 60%, okay? So that's the breakdown just in general. 4 exams, each one are worth 15%. 4 projects, each one's worth 5% of your grade, and then you have your homework and your discussion boards, okay? Do well on all of them, you get an A in the class. Let one of them slide, and you're not going to do so great, okay? You can't lose 10% of your grade or 20% of your grade and expect to get an A. It's just not going to happen. But you can do quite well in this class. I know you can, all right? You've done harder things, I'm sure. And all it takes is persistence, and it takes, scheduling, and it takes some study and communicating with me and with your fellow classmates. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go here to discussions, and we're going to talk about our discussion boards. And these are actually, they're all pretty important. The first discussion board that we're going to look at now, a discussion board is a place for you to place questions or concerns or to ask things about me as an instructor. All right. I check them once or twice a day during the week and once on the weekends. And basically what I'll do is I will get back to you probably within 24 to 48 hours at the most. Generally, it's within 24 hours. Sometimes it's within less time, frequently less time. These are general course questions right here. And this is just things about they're nuts and bolts about the course. Like, when is the next exam? If you don't want to send me an email, or, I'm having a problem with, Microsoft 365. Can you help me with it? That sort of thing. Then I have a study group discussion board, and that's for you to communicate with your other students. And so other students may want to actually study in groups for this course, right? And we might be able to set it up so that you can, in fact, create a study group and then engage in it inside of Canvas, right, using Zoom. And I think it's a really good idea for you to study math in groups. I think that it makes things a lot easier. It also makes things a lot more interesting. And so you might find it really helpful to go into the group discussion board, set up some times with each other, either to meet virtually on Zoom or in person, socially distanced, of course. Now, what about Module 0? Now, then we have two other kinds of discussion boards. Let's first talk about the homework help questions discussion board. There's going to be one for each unit, so there will be 4 of them. And what you'll do is you'll place, if you have a problem with any of the questions on any of the assignments, right, you can place your questions there. So let me click on one and you can see what it's like. Now there's some instructions here. They're not that hard, right? The instructions are basically this. You need to tell me the number and section of your problem. Otherwise, I can't answer it. Nobody can answer it. Your classmates can't say anything to you. It ain't going to work, okay? We just don't know where to look. We don't know what you're talking about. Then you need to copy and paste the problem. And the reason why you want to do that is because the way a discussion board works is that essentially, or you can write down the problem. The way the discussion board works is that it's like a log of all the questions that people in the course have about the course. And if you don't, in fact, go in and tell us what the problem is, it's really hard for us to follow. We've got to go back into the course, take a look at, the question. It makes it really difficult to follow, and it's not really helpful for anybody. So please go and copy and paste the problem. And then the third one, and that's for me and for other people who are going to be really thoughtful about answering questions, is tell me how far you've gotten, what you've done already, because I can actually point out where you're having little errors, okay, or where you might be having a misunderstanding. If all you do is just ask for me to show you the question, then we don't really know where there's a problem. Okay. Instead, just say, hey, I was trying this out. This is what I did. Or here's a screenshot of what I was doing. I've got it all written out, etc. And this will really make a big difference in terms of helping you learn the material. So there's 3 things there. The number and the section of your problem, copy and paste the problem so we can follow it, and then state what you've already tried so that we can actually take a look at what it is. Okay. State where you've got your problems. Now, for those of you who want a little bit of extra credit, there is an extra credit opportunity. If you go in and actually answer the questions that your fellow classmates have, looking specifically to explain to them how it is that they either were making a mistake or the misunderstanding they were having, or a complete explanation of whatever it is that the problem is going, not just an answer, but an explanation, then I'll give you extra credit points. That's 2 points if you're the first person to answer and your answer is correct and has that good explanation. And then an extra point for anybody who follows up with an added piece of information that wasn't in the original post that might be really beneficial for the student. Okay, so that's a little extra credit opportunity for you if you want to take it. Okay, so those are the homework help discussion boards. The third kind are these graded discussion boards. And so you'll have 8 of these throughout the semester. Okay, the first one is due on the second day of class. So that's the first Tuesday after class begins. And it's basically a getting to know you discussion board, right? Giving your name, your major, area of interest, one thing that you like or one thing that you fear, and one thing you fear, and an interesting fact about yourself or anything else that you want to share, okay? And so what that is that's an opportunity to get to know you a little bit better, right? And this is part of our participation. These make up, each one of these discussion boards makes up 10% of your grade, so they're absolutely crucial, okay? What you're required to do is your initial post, right, has to follow the guidelines that are in the initial post, and your reply posts have to also follow the conditions on the reply posts. You do both of those things, you get the full 10 points. If you only have an initial post, you're only getting half the points. right? You miss one of the reply point posts, you lose 2.5 points, okay? And if they're of poor quality, I'm going to let you know, okay? Remember, this is a college course. You are interacting with each other, trying to actually like become, educated members of our society, okay? And so consequently, make sure that you remember that, right? Don't write this like a text. You do that, and I'm not going to give you any credit at all. You've got to have capitalization. There should be punctuation. I'm not a stickler for it, but you know what I'm talking about. Make sure that it doesn't look like something that you would send to your friend. Instead, it's something that you would actually put inside of a college course. Okay? All right. So those are our discussions. Now, the final piece inside of our tour of the course is contact and communication. In an online course, content and communication actually are incredibly crucial because the truth is that I'm the person who grades you, and so consequently I need to communicate with you, and you need to be able to communicate with me, right? And in addition to that, as your instructor, the more we communicate, or the better we communicate, probably better we communicate, the easier this course is going to be, the more that you're going to learn, the more that you're going to get out of it, and the happier you're going to be, the happier I'm going to be. So the first thing you need to know is, how do you know where to find me? And this is inside of that course information, inside the modules. You'll say instructor information, office hours, and confer Zoom link. You'll see the link right here and the times to get help from me for this particular semester. All right, that's all there. Now, these change semester to semester. This happens to be the ones for fall 2020. Okay, going back to the modules, we'll go into the communication plan. And what the communication plan is, and this is also written inside of your syllabus, is it's how it is that I expect to communicate with you. I'm not going to go over all of that right now. You really need to read it because it's pretty lengthy, okay? And it's really important. It talks about discussion boards, online office hours, types of communication, including announcements and emails, all right? And the expectations that I have for you and the expectations, what you can expect from me, okay? So make sure that you go in and you take a look at the communication plan. Now, the final thing that I want to go through here, and we're going to go back into the modules, is something that's really important, and that's for our students who are our students with disabilities and our accessibility support. I am fully, I can make all full accommodations for our students, and I am happy to do so. But what you need to do is you need to, if you are one of those students, you need to make sure that you get those accommodations for our disabled student programs and services, or DSPS. I cannot give out any accommodations without a letter from the DSPS, and that's for your protection and also for mine. Okay, so make sure that you go out and do that, and once you do, I am fully happy and totally happy to go out and do that for you. Okay, and they have a lot of services, so make sure that as soon as possible you go out and you do that. Our first exam, where this might be really important, is about 3 or 4 weeks for the beginning of the course. So make sure that you get in there early so that you can get your accommodation letter and I can give you your accommodations. So this completes our tour around the course. I want to make sure that you, if you have any questions, you can always, of course, email me, and I'm sure to answer them. Make sure that you go in and you read the syllabus. It's really going to make a big difference. I spent a good amount of time trying to lay out the entirety of the basic structure and organization of the course. Make sure that you answer and respond to your emails. And that if you post these in the discussion board, take a look because I will respond. So as I said before, if you have any questions, please post them in the discussion board or email me personally. I answer very quickly. All right? I'm really looking forward to this semester. It's going to be great. It's going to be really, really fantastic. And I think you guys could do a really great job. Okay? All right. We'll see you soon.